Hey guys, hope you guys are doing fantastic no matter where you are. Of course, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Hope you guys have got a great weekend coming up. But today we're having a very beautiful day here. So I decided to take a few watches out. And really based on the topic and some of the comments that I still see my subscribers and viewers place in the comment section. They ask questions such as Felix, I wished we had a chance of buying the Seiko SKXs at a price where they used to be at as a brand new, so that 200 250-ish. Now if you're looking at those, for example, if you're looking at those J versions, if you want to get a mint condition such as this, you're looking at probably around that 400 to even 500 at a brand new stock level, due to the almost new in all new stock. You'd be lucky to find them around that sort of $600-700 US at a brand new, with all the paperwork, with the tag, especially the 007, right? And again, back to what I was saying, my subscriber was saying, Felix, come on, like, we just missed the boat, right? I don't have the chance to buy that at price now. What should we do? And I'm gonna clarify the answer today with you guys. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna give you the conclusion up front. I'm gonna go, guys, look, I don't care whether you're gonna dump $600 into the SKXs, whether that's 009 or 007. I don't care if you're buying a trashed old version of the SKXs for 150 200. I don't care if you spend a lot of time finding a version between 350 to 400, get a great condition such as this. I don't care what you do. If you got money to buy brand new old new stock, do it. If you can't be bothered, you buy a very cheap version of it, do it. If you got that $400 ish to buy a mint condition such as this, do it as well. Those watches are iconic for a reason, and they will always be iconic as long as Seiko is relevant, as long as dive watches is relevant. I'm gonna go through a couple things with you guys here, right, to explain why. And especially, I'm not just a entry-level Seiko collectors, right? I've got this is the grandfather of the SKX. This is the 7548 using a 7C quartz movement, I think, or sorry, not the 7C quartz movement. That's for the tuner, SPB and tuner. This is using the 7548 quartz movement. This has got, I think, 5 jewels in it. Sorry if I'm incorrect, but this is fully serviceable, all metal. Fantastic watches, guys. Truly amazing. Very lucky to have this in the collection in a very much of a mint condition. So as you can see how those watches are pretty much 40 years apart, or 8 years, but you can tell how close they are. They're almost identical, if not the same, right? And the reason why I say that you gotta get XCS is if you guys know where Seiko is going currently, they've got a couple of really popular models in the SPB line. This is their bread and butter in that sort of entry premium level. Of course, then you get the SLA version of both. This is the 147 on the left. This is the 153, the green wheel on the right. Look at the size. They're going smaller and smaller. They're both around that 40.5. And they are the bread and butter. They are, especially if you look at the 62 MAS previous reinterpretation, they're about 43, 44 millimeters. So this one is a lot smaller, going close to that 40. And of course, you have on the other side of the spectrum, you have those affordable champion of the reissue SRP Turtle. They're about 45, right? And then here's the thing, because it's faithful to the original 6309, they need to be that big, right? But don't forget, the bread and butter where Seiko's going with their $1,000 premium Seiko is around that 40, right? The original 62 mass, I think, is about 38 millimeters, right? And you can see around that 40 is where the whole affordable or premium watches in terms of dive style is going. And those SKXs tick perfectly around that 42. And they wear small. SKX wears beautifully, guys. SKX wears amazing. Amazing size. Amazing is sort of ergonomic. The geometry of the watch is just unbelievable. It is a really good watch, guys. I understand you guys were saying, well, why would you spend that much money on a 7S movement that I can't even hack? Guys, you gotta understand, spec is always only part of the story, but it's the design, it is the language of design, it is that iconic status of popularity will last forever. Alright? Spec will always improve. You know, you're looking at those watches of the 6R35 movements, they have about 70 hours power reserve. 70 hours power reserve considering good at 2023. But after 5-6 years later on, you know, when looking at 2028, 2029, maybe you're looking at 100 hours power reserve. So specs will always change, you know, with innovation, with innovators and watchmakers when they're trying to push through the boundaries. But it's the language of design, is the, you know, overall aesthetic of the watch and the story behind it that will truly give it that iconic status which will never change. And you got to remember that, okay? So this is coming from a perspective of a Seiko hobbyist and, you know, modern collector that have a lot of Seikos, right? Of course, I don't claim that I have all the latest and the most popular Seikos, but I do have a few. You know, I think I've really covered most of the bases here between that sort of 500 to maybe 1,500, right? 62 masses, we've got it. We've got the Willers, we've got the Sumo, we've got the Monster, we've got the Tuna, we've got the SKSs, we've got Turtle, we've got Samurai. We really have those basic design covered. And for collectors that have all those designs, I can still recommend to you the SKX. So that actually really means a thing or two to you. So if you are doubting yourself whether you should, like I said before, whether you spend 200 buying a less cared version, spending 400 or 500 buying one of the mint condition, or even higher getting a brand new, I'm with you. I'm supporting you. And I'm hoping you get it one day and have that as a forever keeper in your collection, because you really have to think about the approaches you have in the long game in terms of watch hobbyist. You know, you're in your mid-20s, you're in your mid-30s, you're in your mid-40s. The chances are, if you like having a watch on your wrist, right, you always gonna have a need of be able to tell time conveniently throughout your life, right? So your watches, ideally, when you get old, you know, in your 60s and 70s, ideally, when you look down your wrist, you have a memory and story with the pieces that you have acquired over the many, many years. So I think on that approach, SKX never die, guys. If you have that approach of, imagine, I'm not saying that we're going to be lying on our bed, or, you know, but I'm looking at once we're retired, at our 60s, 70s, you know, we're spending with our grandchildren, we're on a, you know, we sit on our beach, we're you know, on a boat or wherever, right? And then, you know what, by that time, you know, the grandkids are playing with you so lovely, you try to get a break because your, you know, your health condition is declining or whatever, right? And then boom, you have a SKX. So hopefully that you're still gonna have a relatively warm antenna. Guys, that's the story, right? 1981. Right, 41 years old. Right, if you're buying SKX's manufactured now, or a couple years later, let's say 2020, right, or 2019, by 2060, these watches should look like this. By 2060, how awesome would that be? Putting one of the SKSs, you look at it and you go, "Wow, I'm glad that I made a call 40 years ago, buying one of those watches, being with me through a lot." You know, up and downs, you know, happiness and pain and sadness and all the stories behind it, and you still have it. And I have a great story behind this watch, which one day I'll talk about that story, which is a story I will never forget. But guys, here's the thing: look long term in your watch collection. If you're doubting whether you should or shouldn't get an SKS, my recommendation is you definitely should. Whether you're looking at 200, 400, 500, even a brand new cost more than 600-700, as long as you have the budget for it, pull the trigger, guys. You will never regret having a classic such as the SKX, especially the 007 in your collection. Okay, that's it for now. God bless. Hope you have a nice weekend coming up. No doubt. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.